welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a makeup tutorial using my new Morphe palette. I have two Morphe palettes and I would have to say that this one by far is my favorite one. I really wanted to do it with a dark lip and kind of plum colors on my eyes. That's mostly the shades that they have in this new Morphe palette. So if you guys want to see this look, then just continue watching. So starting out with a bare face, I'm going to be priming with my Angel Veil primer by NYX. This is one of my all-time favorite primers. It really just smooths over your skin, smooths over your pores, and it's also a drugstore, so it's super inexpensive. Now lately I've been mixing my two favorite foundations right now, which is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte and the Rimmel London Better Skin, and using my BB Plus Illuminator to mix in with it, and then with the Beauty Blender I'm just going to be applying this evenly all over my face. The colors combining just give me a look that matches my self-tan, so I always want my skin on my face to match my body, and mixing that is what that does for me. Going on with my favorite concealer, this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I really love the foundation as well, but the concealer is definitely my favorite. I get it in the lightest shade just because when I highlight my under eyes and on my T-zone, I like it to be very, very bright. So I do get the lightest shade, and this concealer is just so lightweight. It goes on very smooth, and I really love the applicator. To blend everything out, I'm just going to be using my Beauty Blender, and I do have like 4 different Beauty Blenders that I like to use to kind of separate the colors. So for my highlight color, I'll use one Beauty Blender, and then I'll use a different Beauty Blender when I do the darker shades, just to kind of separate it and not mix any colors or concealers or contours that I'm going to be doing. This stuff is absolutely amazing if you want to set your under eyes or your concealer. This is the Mercier Translucent Powder. So right now I'm going to be baking my face, is what everybody likes to call it. I'm basically just putting this powder on my T-zone, and where I put that concealer, I did have the concealer on the other eye just sitting. I didn't want to blend it out yet because I wanted the T-zone and one of my eyes to bake while I was kind of blending out the other shade, and then I will bake that eye and sweep away the rest of the excess powder while that concealer sets. Then just kind of take any brush you have laying around. I'm using this little IT Cosmetics brush and just sweeping that excess powder away from my eyes, my chin, and my T-zone. Finishing out my highlighting and contouring routine, I'm using this NYX Cosmetics Wonder Stick. I use this every single time I contour my face. I love the shade of brown that it has. It matches my skin perfectly, and it does give me a very nice, natural, contoured look. Then, of course, using one of my Beauty Blenders. This is a different Beauty Blender, as you can tell, it's an orange one. I use this specifically for when I contour my face using the brown shade. So this is just for that, and I love it. This is actually an IT Cosmetics Beauty Blender. It's a lot cheaper than, I think it's like half price than the actual Beauty Blender from Sephora, and it works just as good. Then to blend out my nose contour, I'm going to be using this Micro Beauty Blender. I specifically use these tiny beauty blenders to blend out my nose only. I've tried using them before to do my cheeks and like my temples, but it didn't really work out that well, so this is an amazing blender for your nose area. To set everything, I'm going to be using my Holy Grail powder. This is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Pressed Powder in the shade Light to Medium. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you guys know I never switch away from this. This is my favorite powder. It is a drugstore powder. On top of that, it just kind of makes everything come together, and I love matte looks, and it definitely gives me that. And then to set my under eyes, again, I'm going to be using this banana shade from Anastasia. And for kind of setting my contour, I'm going to be using that lighter brown in the Anastasia contour palette and just putting that where we did the cream contour. Blushes, I'm going to be mixing these two MAC blushes. I'm not exactly sure the names, but I will have all of the products that I am wearing and putting on my face listed down below in the description box. But I love mixing shades of blushes. Some of the shades just are a little bit too light for my liking, and so I like to mix them and kind of make them more mauvey and more shimmery. Sometimes I like shimmer. So yeah, definitely mixing blushes gives me that shade that I really love. Now for my favorite part, I'm going to be highlighting my face with the new JACLYN Hill highlighter, and I am also going to be mixing that with MAC Cosmetics Oh Darling highlighter. They are both my favorite highlighters at the moment, and just mixing them gives me that exact highlight that I love. For eyebrows, nothing has really changed. I did just get my eyebrows threaded not too long ago, so I'm really loving the shape. And right now I'm just kind of combing them out because they look a little sparse and messy. And I'm using my MAC Omega shadow that I've used for years with one of these little MAC brushes. And this just kind of makes the color what I want it to be. And then I'm just going to fill them in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil to kind of give them that shape and definition. To set everything in place and to make sure nothing goes out of place during the day, I'm going to be using this Benefit Gimme Brow Setting Gel. It's amazing. I've used this stuff for so long. And then I am just priming my eyes for some eyeshadow, and I am using the Soft Ochre Paint Pot from MAC. Now for the exciting part, I'm going to be using my new Morphe palette. This is definitely a lot different. The shades in this palette are definitely a lot different than what I usually use. It's more purples and kind of pinks and mauve. For my eyes, I usually don't go that dark, but I definitely wanted to experience with something new. So I'm just setting my eyes with this shade in the Naked Basics palette, just because we did put that paint pot on my eyes, so I wanted to use a neutral color to set everything. And then going in with this brown sparkly shade, I'm using that in my crease. I'm just going to be mixing these two lighter shades and applying them on my lid. Using that same Morphe brush, I'm going to be applying this color into my crease as well. And for my brow bone, I'm just going to be using this kind of champagne sparkly shade. Then I'm just blending everything out with this blender brush, and I'm going to be using a tapered brush for underneath my lash line. I'm going to be putting a little bit of brown just to darken up the look a little bit more. And on this blending brush, I did add a little bit more of that sparkly brown that we used in the beginning, just to add more brown to the actual lid. And then, like I'm doing here, like I said, with a tapered brush, just putting it underneath my lash line. For mascara, I'm going to be using this new CoverGirl that I got recently. Not sure how I'm liking it very much. It does plump it up my lashes, and that's what it claims to do, but it doesn't really separate them that much, and it kind of dries too fast for my liking. So I'm still giving it a try. I may do a review on this, so if you guys want to see that, just let me know down below. And then I'm going in with my favorite mascara for my bottom lashes. This is the Lash Accelerator by Rimmel London. It's amazing. I've probably gone through like 20 bottles of this, and I also will apply it to my top lashes as well, just kind of separate and give them a little bit more length and volume. For my lips, I decided to do something a little bit different. I'm using this NYX lip pencil in the shade Nectar, and then I'm going over that shade with my MAC lip pencil in SOAR. And for my actual lip shade, I'm going to be using this ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in teeny tiny. This shade is so pretty. I've probably bought in every single one of these ColourPop Ultra Matte lips. They're super inexpensive and the shades last the entire day, and I love the way they apply. I highly recommend going to check ColourPop's website out. No, I'm not getting paid to mention this or anything. I just really, really love them, and their eyeshadows are just as amazing. That is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and let me know down below in the comments for any future videos you guys would like to see from me. I hope you guys are having an amazing day or night, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.